In 1987, I was walking through a field on the way to catch my school bus, and I came across the body of a murder victim.
What 15-year-old Tim Masters saw that morning would change his life forever.
I thought somebody had put a mannequin in the field. I didn't believe it was real.
Tim dismissed his discovery. He did not tell police.
And that made him #1 prime target from the beginning.
Investigators searched Tim's home. They found his knife collection and violent drawings. 11 years later, Tim was arrested. He was convicted and sentenced to life for the death of Peggy Hetrick.
At trial, what was presented was a very disturbed 15-year-old who drew pictures of Freddy Krueger and sort of a lot of war, a lot of dismemberments.
And that offended me, where you have no physical evidence and you can go hire a psychologist to make up stuff about a kid's drawings and convict him for murder. It was offensive.
Days behind bars turned to months, then years.
You can't think about am I going to serve life in prison for something I didn't even do?
Each appeal was denied before attorney Maria Liu was appointed to the case in 2003.
I sort of evolved into this kid didn't get a fair trial, to, oh my gosh, I've got reasonable doubt that he did it, to being convinced without a doubt that he was innocent.
David Wymore was recruited, and a team of legal professionals, investigators, and experts began an exhaustive effort to prove Tim's innocence.
We had to fight to get the evidence. We had to fight to preserve the evidence.
This is all the discovery that defense trial counsel had when Tim went to trial. That's it. 5 binders. This entire section is all the ultimate discovery that we had.
Rows of reports, records, and transcripts Tim's legal team eventually turned up.
That's why this case was so overwhelming.
DNA basically was the final straw.
Evidence on the victim's clothing was tested and ultimately cleared Tim Masters. His wrongful conviction was overturned in January.
Didn't believe it was going to happen until I actually walked out of the court, you know. I've been let down too many times before. It was like taking your first breath of air.
The ACLU of Colorado's Edward Sherman Award goes to Maria Liu and David Wymore for their exceptional legal work to further civil liberties.
I'm very happy, I'm very honored to get this award from the ACLU.
Thank you so much. What an honor.
They're not just 2 outstanding lawyers, they're 2 decent individuals. They're good people.
It took a dedicated legal team and sophisticated DNA analysis to win Tim Masters' freedom. A new Colorado law the ACLU testified in support of will help ensure that right in future criminal cases.
There's a statutory duty now for this evidence to be preserved, and I'm sure it came in large part because of the Tim Masters case. I think that it's long overdue.
This case is a prime example of why the ACLU is working to abolish the death penalty in our state by 2012. Tim Masters is living proof the justice system is not always just.
There are people in the state of Colorado who have been railroaded, framed, otherwise falsely convicted, that they exist in our prison, and here is Tim, and take a look, and here's how this happened.
I actually used to be for the death penalty. I was a conservative Republican. My recent 10-year experience has changed that. If that can happen to me that easy with no evidence, they could do this to anybody.